What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Shawny Boy here, one half of the host of the Big Weeb Podcast. And this episode is a very special episode for me where I got to interview my favorite voice actress of all time, Erin Fitzgerald. Amazing human being. But just keep in mind that this was recorded back probably like the end of March, like March 22nd or something like that. So some of the topics and stuff we talk about might be outdated, might not be. But either way, please enjoy the episode and let's get into it. I am hitting record right now.
Oh, fucking day. I have...
Okay, we're going over to...
Going where?
I'm moving you.
Why are you moving me?
Because we need to be in a call, all three of us.
Bitch, I don't want to be... No, just... Yeah, do whatever you want.
Alright.
Clown. Wasting away my life.
How do I do this again?
Now I'm fucking nervous.
I made you nervous. Alright, let's go. Hello?
Hello.
Is this her?
Can you hear me?
What the fuck? Is that the first thing you say?
I don't know. I know it's her because it's her voice, but it could still be a catfish.
You gotta eat more meat.
Get catfish!
Don't do that. Don't do that voice.
She could do whatever she wants.
I have been watching so much of The Circle, my level of catfish understanding is at a max.
Wow, this is unreal to me right now.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you, Erin. I am Shawny. This is Nate.
Hi, Shawny, I love your work.
You are my idol, so this is weird. This is like
Mutual Admiration Society.
it's like I'm talking to Michael Jackson right now. But that would actually be weird.
Wow, that got dark really quick.
Well, I didn't mean it in that way.
No,
I meant like
no, but it can't help it anymore. Now the world is a dark.
That's true.
Shawny!
This is going super left field.
It's okay.
This is great. This is great. I'm recording this right now, by the way.
Yay!
So all of this is content.
Awesome.
It's great.
Awesome.
Did you expect this when you accepted it?
Yeah, I totally expected all of this.
Which-
You kind of told me who you guys were when trying to set this up.
That's good.
Is this your first podcast?
This is technically it's our first podcast because we've done kind of like podcast stuff. Like we'll be on Twitch. We'll get together on Twitch and kind of like talk about like
next
games and
Sunday.
stuff. Yeah, like next Sunday and
Right,
stuff like
okay.
that. We've been doing it like monthly, kind of like once a month, but like now we're gonna either do it weekly or bi-weekly. We're not sure yet.
Oh, the world needs it. Definitely.
Now
Yeah.
you see. This bitch didn't tell me any of this.
And yeah, so this is how all
on
this is
stream.
so hold on. This is how all of this happened. I was streaming, he was in my screen, he was talking, blah 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 blah, and I was like,
Right.
"Oh yeah, we have to do a podcast." And I was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna start doing podcasts regularly now." And he was like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna start doing them regularly now." I was like, "I'm still getting everything together. We're gonna do it regularly." And he was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, so he got you back by reaching out to me.
And then that's
He's
when he was like, yeah,
I
and then
see we're going to do a podcast weekly. I will up you and contact Erin Fitzgerald.
He literally said, "I'll be back. I have to go contact somebody." And I was like, "Who's he contact?" I was like, "Who? Okay." I was like, "Okay, like who are you gonna contact about this? Like you telling your mom or something?" Like, it's like, "Mom, guess what?
Podcast twice a
I'm
week.
doing a
are you kidding?
podcast." And then yeah, I'm just streaming, playing the game. I look at my phone. I see the little Twitter icon. I'm like, okay, who just tweeted me? I look and I'm like, okay, Nate just tweeted me. Why did he just tweet me? He's in the stream talking to me. And I'm like, oh, he literally just added Erin Fitzgerald. I was like, why would he do that? She's just gonna say no. This is pointless. And then you said that, yes. And then I was like, what the freak? She just said yes. I don't know what to do with myself right now.
Okay, this is my favorite right here. You, what was it? Okay, this is how what he messaged me on Twitter. This is my favorite. This is what Sean Hi, Erin. Sorry for my co-host randomly inviting you to our podcast. LOL. In the planning stage of it, and it doesn't start until the end of April. He knows I'm a big fan of yours, so he decided to invite you without letting me know. Once I get everything situated and started up, I'll let you know, and you're always welcome to be a part of it if you want. Awkward. Yeah, so that was your first reaction, and I'm like, dude, let's do it. This timing is perfect. Get back to normal next month, and I don't have schedule.
And that's what, like, I was thinking. I was like, she's probably literally not doing anything. She's literally at home, can't leave the house, and like, I'm not doing nothing. These random people just tweeted me for a podcast.
I'm just sitting around eating, got a steak, gonna have a hamburger later, gonna practice my kung fu. That's how I roll.
Oh my God, this is so unreal right now. I'm trying to be a professional and trying to be the leader of this podcast.
Sometimes you just can't.
Sometimes you can just be a human, though. I feel like that's what we really need right now.
Who needs professionalism when you can just be human?
I think professionalism is out the window when everyone is working in their pajamas. I'm just saying right now.
That's true. Well, I have to still, work because I work at a hospital, so I still live in a regular
Oh my God,
life.
you're on the front lines. You're a hero. Are you
Yes.
taking precautions?
All the time, because it is scary when people come in and say, I feel sick. I think I have the virus. And I'm like, what the freak do we do right now? And then we call nurses, and nurses like, what do we do right now? And like, how come y'all don't know what to do?
No, I'm serious. I literally was in a meeting this morning with a friend of mine who's a doctor. She's a doctor, and she was like, her hospital is not taking the proper precautions. Nobody at her hospital was taking it seriously enough yet because the cases weren't piling up in the hospital yet. But this week it just started flooding in, and we had a long meeting because she was terrified. She's like, the penny dropped. There's some of us who have been following this since the beginning, and I've already been through my panic phases. And now I'm into, okay, how can I be of service? What can I do? What do we need to do? How do we educate people? How do we get people on board so that we can all be safer? And then there are people who are just learning about it every day, who are just it's not real until it touches your inner circle type of a thing.
Yeah.
And if you're working at a hospital, it's going to hit your inner circle much faster than somebody who's in a small town that doesn't have to really leave their house anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like,
so it's a big deal. You got to take care of it. Everybody who's working near health professionals, with health professionals, the health professionals. I know that there's a call to cosplayers to assist in making masks. I think that is amazing. I feel like that is like the power of the many, and that we there's always something we can do to help the effort. Gosh, I feel like I'm in the 1940s and we're about to go to war.
It is like, it feels like the Great Depression's about to happen, and like some
it does feel like that. So here's the thing, because it feels like that, and it probably is that. Let's just call it is what it is, and there's going to be a lot of changes in the next 6 months. And yes, I think it's really important for people to be able to give themselves permission to laugh if they need to laugh, to play if they need to play, because those things are stress reliefs. We're fully aware that every human at some point is going to be worrying about this all day, every day. There's nothing we can do to stop that progression. Eventually, everyone will end up worried about this. So then it becomes mitigating the worry. You can't spend all day, every day worrying. That is not healthy. That's only going to lower your immune system. And you need your immune system strong in order to fight anything that comes your way, whether it's the virus or anything else. Because the health professionals are going to be basically too busy to deal with us.
Yeah.
So we need to take care of ourselves and each other. So ways you can do that is to, we have to lift our spirits. We have to lift each other's spirits. We have to be kind to ourselves and to each other. I think, I feel like the Scooby-Doo-ness of the Persona 4 team I swear to God, that to me is what we need to do right now. Like, they took these emergency situations and like, teamwork makes the dream work. Let's pony up, everybody. And Chie, of course, suggests eating meat. That may not be your thing. But it's definitely kung fu and meat will save everything. Will save the world. And Chie would definitely be on the front lines. She's totally the woman that would be okay if she wasn't in the health profession. She would be with the police to do. Okay, well, how do we keep
a police girl? So she would be within the police.
Yes.
Like, okay, let's help these people. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Yes.
Because that's just like her personality to like just be super helpful.
I feel if you're an entertainer, if you're a streamer, keep doing it, keep entertaining, keep streaming. I think that's one of the most important things to do at this time to help people alleviate the stress that they're experiencing in their bodies when they're worrying. I think that, everyone can just deep breath. Meditation's a thing. You're at home anyway. Might as well learn to meditate, right? Like, come on. 20 minutes a day. No more than 20 minutes. I myself sing the hue. I just go hue.
Oh, you do the hues. Okay.
Minutes and it calms me.
I used to do 10 because I started with 20 and then like 20, I was like, okay, this is way too long.
Well, you can't start with 20. You start with 5, build to 10, and then 20 becomes easy. Like 20 for me is, I just tend to just do 20 without having to look or think about it. That's just my comfort spot. But I don't do more than 20. I don't want to, I don't want to be a monk on the top of a mountain and not engage.
It's like, how long you been saying for 3 hours?
Yeah. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I feel like we had to address that because it is the main important thing that's going on in the universe right now, and I wanted to talk about that and just get it off the table. Let's just put it there so that we can come back to it if we need.
Well, I was scared that I wouldn't have content for this today since I wrote nothing down, but yet you just took up the first 10 minutes of in a good way. You took up the first 10 minutes.
It goes as long as it
now,
goes.
the only thing I can say is I'm not sure how dated this is going to be by next month when this actually gets to people's ears. I'm gonna hope that it actually is dated. Let's hope.
Oh my God! Can we just imagine that this is just like, remember last month when we panicked? I would love that so much.
Yeah, that's
Please let this age poorly. I want this to age poorly.
I want this to be like, what are they talking about? Why are they talking about?
Oh my God! Yes, please. Oh, wouldn't that be wonderful? And if it doesn't age poorly, if it's kind of on the nose in a month from now,
yes.
Trust and believe we are here for you and support you in whatever way you need. And reach out to people, especially if you're isolated and you're scared and alone. Reach out. This
was our public service announcement.
Yeah, that's
Thank you. And good night.
that was the podcast. There we go.
No, I was thinking of touching on the whole virus situation at one point, but we at least
before we continue this, we didn't say the name, did we? Don't say the name.
Oh, even better.
No, don't say the name because if you say the name, you can't get monetized.
Say my name.
If no one is around you. But we can't get monetized. Oh my God.
Come on.
I love her.
Jeez.
Oh my God, this is the best thing that ever happened in my life.
He's freaking out inside. I know he is.
Yeah. I mean, you like. I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember the time that you followed me on Twitch and Twitter?
Yes.
Do you remember the video?
Yeah.
You was listening to my music?
When I said I was a fan, I wasn't BSing you. I like your music.
I thought you meant like about Twitch or whatever. I didn't know you listened to my music. Thank you.
I retweeted your music on Twitter too.
You did retweet my music. I actually forgot that. That's weird.
I'm not the girl that just retweets somebody's music and doesn't listen to it. No. If I retweet something, I gotta like it.
Well, that's true because
daydreams for me.
I could be talking about like kicking babies or something like that, and then you're like, let's retweet this. Retweet this kick your baby song. Oh yeah, I like this. I support this person.
That's a good song. Yes.
So we're big fans of each other. That's.
There you see mutual admiration society.
Yes.
I'll just be over
here. I'm a big fan of you, Nate.
Speak on your talents, Nate.
He streams.
Wow. I play games, you see.
What are your games? What games do you play?
I play a lot of different Mostly RPGs, really.
He just beat Kingdom Hearts 2 on Critical on his stream.
Okay, that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
What's your favorite RPG of all time? If you could put like top 3.
Top 3.
Put me on the spot now.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Kingdom Hearts is one of them, obviously, because me and my sister. I remember back in like when I was a child, begging for my dad to get me Kingdom Hearts 2. That's when I saw it on the shelves.
Oh.
Because I loved 1, and me and my sister played through 1 a lot, and I mean a lot. I remember one of our friends getting like a save for me, that 100% save, because I didn't think I ever 100%ed the game like on the PS2 exactly.
Okay.
Me and my sister.
Wait,
like,
you said your sister got the 100% save?
Off her friend.
Oh,
that did 100%.
I was like, we need to talk to your sister. That's what we need.
Well, my sister does play games, and that's what like made me and her bond a lot. When I was a kid, she was like a best friend to me, basically. She still is, to be honest. She doesn't have as much time to play video games at the moment because she like works all the time.
Okay.
But I think she'll have a bit more time because of this whole thing going on.
Yeah.
Because she works in like a coffee shop.
Well, food industry is most important right now.
And GameStop.
Yeah, I think
because GameStop is essential.
Right. What the hell was that? Oh my god, a month from now. Please tell me that by the time this episode airs, GameStop is finally...
Literally before we started this, I was on Twitter, and the first tweet I saw when I opened Twitter today was GameStop will be closing due to customer concerns. And I was like, thank you. I was like, because that was dumb. That was the dumbest thing I've seen.
The thing we can get the fastest online. Video games.
Like we need our games and our Funko Pops and our Funko Pop cereals. Like this is essential during the crisis.
I have a question. And this is a really important life question because before the lockdown, and in fact, I locked myself down about a week before the lockdown because my intuition was telling me don't go out. So I was planning on buying a Switch finally, and I was going to get.
Girl, come on.
I really want Zelda: Link's Awakening because I loved Zelda when I was a kid, and that was like my favorite game. So I really wanted to get that. So I put like in my Amazon. Shopping cart, I had like I had the Switch, all of the accoutrements, all the accessories, plus the game and all this stuff. And then all this stuff went down. And I don't know if you guys live in LA, but I live in LA where rent is a couple of $1,000s plus. So I was like,
sounds affordable.
Right, quite. It doesn't mean, I don't know why they haven't frozen rents in LA yet.
I don't even live in America.
That's crazy too. I'm like, how are we we can't work. So right now, nobody's going to work. So my jobs, I can't go to work right now. Although everyone's trying to figure out how to record remotely. But for video games, some video games can, but for ADR, you can't. Anyway, they're trying to figure all that stuff out. And I'm like, okay, worst case scenario, if I don't have any regular income coming in, should I really buy the Switch and all of this? But in my head, I'm like, but you do Twitch stream, and it would technically be part of your Twitch streaming, and you could just write it off as a part of that. So I haven't bought it yet because I'm terrified of like spending the money and then 3 months from now needing rent and going, I have a Switch.
I'm sorry.
Now I know the Switch isn't the same amount as my rent, but it could, with all the additional stuff I wanted to buy, it would be a good portion of it.
$500, $600, $700 probably.
Would you, if you were in my situation, would you go for it and do it anyway?
I'm a very like, just what's the word? Like I just take those risks when it's a one, and I'm the type of person. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Just do it. I'm gonna just do it. If this ends up being a worse decision in my life, I'll worry about that later. But it might end up being a good decision. I don't know. Right. I can't tell the future.
It could be my grocery money.
Yes.
I don't know.
It could be your grocery money, or you might make your grocery money by playing a Switch game. You might play Animal Crossing and then get a whole bunch of people from playing Animal Crossing or something like that. I'm just saying, I don't know if you want to.
Well, here's the thing. On top of that, I feel guilty about anybody who subscribes to my Twitch channel right now because I feel like everybody should be saving their pennies.
That's true.
I don't want to ask anybody for money or you know what I mean? Like, because I do private coaching and I don't feel like, normally I tweet it out on Twitter. I'm like, I do private coaching for character actors, that type of thing. And then I'm like, I don't even want to put that out there because I think people should be saving their money because I don't know where this is going yet.
The only thing you can do is let that be the message of, hey, like, I'm looking out for y'all. I don't want y'all to put y'all money towards me. Put your money towards yourself. There are people that get enjoyment out of paying people for Twitch. So their like relief and stuff from all this is to give you money. So for those people, you just have to let them know.
Person they love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, I know that there are people that are abundant and they can afford to do that for sure. But I know there are people who aren't abundant and who do it anyway because they feel like they're just so sweet, and I know these sweet souls. I don't want these sweet souls not wasting money because I know that I give quality content, but I don't want people hurting themselves, like not feeding themselves for a meal because they spent money on something that they could show up in anyway. Like I'm streaming, a follow. You can come and follow me and just watch me without having to send money.
Which I did when I found out.
Right? Like I just having people there is more than enough, especially at a time like this. The community, I think, feels more important than anything else.
And that's a big thing with Twitch anyway. Like even like when I stream and stuff like that, and like I get money, and of course anybody gets happy when you get money because it's something.
Yeah. Oh, it always feels like a gift.
Yeah. But like the biggest thing, like I really want more than money is just people there and people interacting. Yeah. Like that's the thing. That's like my money to me. Like I rather like somebody sit there talking to me while I'm playing this game and communicating with me.
I do believe that. I believe in teamwork makes the dream work very much so. And like when I Twitch stream, I like it when other people post their Twitch streams because I feel like if you follow me, follow each other, and then everyone can grow their audience. And so the more people that are there, the stronger the community. And then we have that feeling of like when I go to your stream and I see all those names that were on my stream and it feels like I know people and it feels the sense of community got me through some really dark times in the last 3 years. Being able to see the same people online, but still being anonymous. I mean, granted, I'm not anonymous. It's my name. It's all my name. Everybody knows I'm not I don't have a fake. I'm definitely who I am. But for everybody else, who they can be private, and I still feel their sense of who they are through their expression in their posts. But I have a really great community. A lot of people in my community are on the spectrum, and I really love human beings that are on the spectrum because I find them very direct and honest and kind-hearted. I have a lot of LGBTQ members of my community, also very direct and open-hearted, and teamwork makes the dream work.
I also see that you're very, very pro-black on your tweets. And I am. Love that.
A lot of my chosen family members are not white. My best friend since I was 16, his family's Jamaican, and he's my brother, and his parents are my parents, and his grandma used to make me oxtail and ackee and saltfish, and like that was my upbringing, and it just happened to. I know I'm not one of those white girls that think she is not white. I'm fully aware.
I know a lot of those girls.
But I'm not going to lie. I have a lot of black female friends because they are females that I relate with. The honesty, the directness, I like being shown the things I don't understand coming from where I come from. An American human beings are different from human beings in England and Canada and Australia, so each human being, depending on where they're from, has a different set of experiences. And the history in America is so dark and so challenged. I'm like, I don't want to hide from that. I want to learn about that. I want to learn everything I can about it. And so I will be less ignorant as a human being. Not to mention, I do find that all the people that I choose as my family, and yes, a lot of them are not white, they're just the most fun to be around, period. So.
Yeah. This. No. Like everything she's saying, like I'm just taking everything on in, and I did. Yeah.
I mean, my stepmom is as well, so I'm kind of very much with that too.
Yeah, and I'm definitely not going to say stupid things. I mean, I've been corrected on all my stupid white girl things. And it still comes. I mean, my friends are not afraid to be like, girl, you can't say
and that's anything whenever you're outside of a culture or a race. Like, you kind of don't know, like, you're going to say certain things, and then for you, you're not going to even think about it, but then somebody else is going to be like, hey,
you don't know.
You can't
you don't know what you don't know until you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I love being corrected and challenged on stuff. I'm like, oh my God, how many years have I been saying that? I just didn't know. I'm in Canada. I had no idea. Like, the horror. But I mean, it's realistic. It's being, the privilege of being in white skin. You don't know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm. And especially when you're when you're from Canada, and I hope I'm not saying anything wrong when I say this. when you're from Canada, you have this level of niceness and appreciation that a lot of Americans don't have. So a lot of times when you you probably like being an American and speaking to like Canadians and stuff. Of course, people are human. Of course, there's assholes anywhere you go. But there's this thing of like, you have this certain like way of Canadians that has this like appreciation and niceness for certain things. So sometimes when they say certain things,
but that's, that's because I share the same queen as Nate. So Nate and I have the same queen, and it's been drilled in our brain to be polite and not be a jerk face in front of people. At least not to their faces. We do it very much behind your back in a room where nobody can hear us. Don't we, Nate?
Yes.
Nate had to think about it. He's like, I kind of do.
I know how we are as,
What am I getting to?
Human beings, yes.
It's like, no, Nate does it in front of people's faces all the time. He does not care.
I care a lot.
I've learned a lot from Americans how to speak my mind, but it took a long time. It took a good 5 years before I first said my first kind of like, I'm going to say what I'm thinking right now out loud in front of people. And then I did it, and I'm like, oh, that felt amazing. Instead of being passive aggressive about it, and then and then going back home and going, can you believe that? How dare she?
Oh wow, it's so funny just having people from all different types of like different upbringings, cultures, and stuff, and like you like talk to somebody and you're just like, oh wow, like, you know nothing about this. Like there's a lot of people I talk to in countries, and like, I tell them about American things and like slavery and like just
I did not know a
like
lot
that.
of stuff.
And and like it feels weird, not like weird that y'all should know it, but just like weird when you talk to somebody about it and they're like, so like wait, what? Like that happened? And like that's the like, you learn that in school and everything, right? And they're like, oh yeah, you didn't learn that in school. You learned about the Queen and stuff. Like, you don't know about what's going on.
We learned about Laura Secord in Canada. Yeah,
I have no idea what the hell that is.
But apparently that was more important than American slavery. Good to know. Thank you, Canada.
Wow, this is a very good video game podcast that we're having right now.
But we were talking about streaming and how, I love my community and we were talking about my community, and my community happens to be a very mixed bag of human beings, of awesome human beings. And I think, and there's a kindness that I don't know why here's the thing. I try to be as wholesome as I can online and in my streams, because honest to God, that's what I prefer, is watching wholesome content. I like being around wholesome content because my heart feels dark when I see all the other stuff in the world. The world isn't wholesome. Nothing about the world is wholesome. So now I'm like so into wholesome content in a way I never was, like, as a kid. And I'm not even like, as soon as I get off this podcast, I'll go and play Overwatch and be cussing my brains out. But what I'm trying to do is, like, I want to be the person that I want to be around. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a hard journey. But man, I mean, some of this content, there's some really great streamers out that are just lifting my spirits. And I love that Twitch has Bob Ross on 24/7. Like that Bob Ross channel is saving my life right now.
I need to watch that once. I watched just like a piece of it, and I was like, and this is before I was trying to be wholesome. I watched Bob Ross, and I was like, why does anybody watch this?
And it's on Netflix now too. Like I'm seeing Bob Ross popping up everywhere. I knew that Bob Ross was going to be the saving grace during the dark
in 2020.
But he is.
Yeah, 2020. Everybody's running a Bob Ross.
If you don't have any medicine for mental health, just put on Bob Ross. Don't sweat it. Put on Bob Ross and sing with you. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Yeah. So So Nate is an RPG head, likes RPG. You said Kingdom Hearts.
He still didn't. He still ran away from the question. The top three.
I didn't run away from a question.
Ran away from that.
You went off.
Yes, you will. I probably interrupted because I am the queen of interrupting.
Fine.
Whatever. Stop stalling. Top three. What's your top three?
I know how to come back.
Yes, we're full circle. We're back, and now he's stalling.
We're back.
Now he's trying to put the blame on everybody else instead of answering the question.
Second game, Nate. Second favorite game.
God damn! Come on. Well, Final Fantasy is definitely in there.
Wait,
you can't just no, you can't. No, that's not. Yeah, that's not fair. You gotta.
You can't just be Final Fantasy.
Yes, there's 15 of them. I like all of them. Like no, pick one.
Yeah, pick one.
Pick one. Fuck.
One.
7 to 10. Go ahead.
If you say 14, I'm not mad at you. If you say 14.
Well, to be honest, I'm playing a lot of 14, so.
Hey! The reason I'm not mad
14, I'm addicted to 14 right now.
because I'm in 14, so I'm happy that
you're 14?
You're in 14?
Yeah, so I'm in like Final Fantasy 13, part 1, 2, and 3. Just a bunch of additional characters. I
heard you in 13.3.
Yeah, where I'm like I'm the greens chick where you can buy greens.
Yeah.
And in 14, I'm Nanamo Ulnamo.
I know you're in 15 too. Get the.
I'm a bunch of different. I'm like 20 characters.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
That's weird to think about.
I'm the chick that gets hired for video games because I'm a utility woman because I can do multiple characters because I've got like thousands of characters that don't sound similar. Mm-hmm. So when a video game hires me, usually it's to do all the NPC characters. So they bring me in and I'll do 20 to 40 characters for them that are non-playable. So you can go through a game and hear me like 20-30 times and not know it's me.
That's true because like when I look at your resume and stuff like that, and it'd be like Erin Fitzgerald's in this game, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember as her, and then it'd be like 20 other names. Huh?
It's out. We all know who I am now.
I'll block it and edit it. They're gonna be like, what did he say there? Did he just curse? Are they giving out curses?
Podcast. You have to look up the credits to find out who the actor is.
It's like, okay, who was in Final Fantasy 13, 14, 15?
Oh, also Brave Anya Salvation Bravely Default. So that was that. I consider that Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that counts.
World of Final Fantasy and some other Final Fantasy spin-offs for sure. But my favorite Final Fantasy game is 7, OG version. I will not be playing the remake.
What?
I will not.
Why not?
Because, first of all, that freaking advent really ruined my game by making it all CG realistic when it's supposed to be kawaii little 8-bit looking characters. Why isn't it still little 8-bit looking characters? Why everybody looks so
It's a remake.
It's got like a whole it's got a Resident Evil darkness to it where I'm like,
I love Resident Evil.
No, I want chocobos.
There is chocobos. There's a chocobo summon in it.
They look like horror movie beasts. I need the cute
That's what chocobos look like. They're giant chickens. Imagine a giant chicken in real life. That wouldn't be like happy. That would be terrifying.
Like, mystery dungeon, chocobo mystery dungeon forever.
Oh god. You're making me sad, Chie. You're making me sad.
I'm telling you, you're doing it all wrong. Final Fantasy VII OG is my only Final Fantasy that I love, but I'm in all the other Final Fantasies, so I like that you play all the Final Fantasies. That's a pretty good choice.
I'm gonna need you to play remake though, and then then come back.
But Danielle McCrae will play the remake. Danielle McCrae, who is a voice actress from Skullgirls, and she does a lot of. She's in a lot of League of Legends.
Who's she in Skullgirls?
She's Painwheel in Skullgirls.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm Parasol, she's Painwheel, and in League of Legends, she's Karma, and I'm Janna and Sona, and she's in a lot of games. Anyway, she is going to be playing the Final Fantasy remake. So while I play the OG, she'll play the remake, and we got it covered.
I'm so disappointed.
Teamwork makes the dream work, Shawny. Teamwork makes the dream work.
And the cool podcast off.
All right, number three.
Number three, Nate. Number 3.
I have to say Persona 5, to be honest.
Hey, wait a minute.
5.
I'm murdery in Persona 5. I'm a terribly mean, awful character.
Wait, who are you in 5? I didn't know you was in 5. Who are you in 5?
Yeah, she's in 5.
Interesting.
I looked up, she's in 5.
I am.
Look it up, mother.
Wait, I did. Wait, hold on.
Mom.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I knew that. It's been so long. I played Persona 5 3 years ago, so it's been so long.
Yeah, and she doesn't sound anything like Chie. So, I mean, that's why they were like, oh, we could put you in this game, but only in this character, because then she sounds nothing like Chie.
Yeah. So do they?
Because they're like, you never know what you'll ever come back as Chie.
Do they do that? Do they like say, hey, we want you for this role? Don't do Chie.
Well, yeah, the thing is, for the Persona series, the thing is because they don't know where it's going, and they were very hesitant, because I love being Chie, and me and Atlas have a great relationship. And we were talking about, they were talking about casting for 5 and stuff, and they were like, we don't know where this series is going. We don't know if this universe is going to end up talking to your universe eventually. We just don't know. So we can't have you play another character because you'd be talking to yourself.
Well, they say that, but then Johnny Young Bosch comes and talks to himself for a whole game.
I know.
And a whole anime.
Well, I'm a woman. The rules are different for women, Shawny.
That's true. That's true. I can't speak on that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to touch it.
But they gave me that juicy Futaba's mom part. For psychotic and evil, so that was fun.
I actually like that part a whole lot.
Thanks.
That was like a high point.
I tried to be terrifying.
Yeah.
I really tried. Like, I went out of my way. I donated my voice on Fridays. Like, I threw everything into that to be scary AF. So hopefully
that whole part, like the whole Futaba part with like her mom and everything, like all of that was like really good. Like I feel like a lot of that, like that's the reason why. Okay, Nate had his 3. That's the reason why Persona 5 can't be in my top, just because.
It's too dark.
We know which Persona is your favorite.
Well, we know. I mean,
stop beating around the bush.
No, man. When we were recording that game, it was before the 2016 election, and I was like, "This game is so dark. This game is so dark." And then 2016 happened, and life started, imitating Persona 5. I'm like, this is getting way too creepy. I can't believe that game prophesized what was to come.
He's like, what? Where's my happy Scooby-Doo team?
I am so happy.
Like, all we had to deal with was just murderers.
I know that Persona 5 is the most famous game in the world right now, and those actors have blown up in a way that P4 never will. But I'm still really happy that P4 is the one that I'm in, because that is who I am. That energy, that Scooby-Doo-ness, me and Yosuke is literally my relationship with Yuri Lowenthal. Like, that's how we actually are in real life.
Yeah, I remember that one video y'all had, and then y'all was doing voices. And
he brought me that burger.
Yeah, he brought you the burger and everything.
He literally brought me that burger. I was like, good job, Yuri.
And I have a question about that before we get into my top 3 and your top 3. So how does, so for people who don't know, who's listening, the person, I'm not going to say the name, the person who we are interviewing right now and podcasting with right now, she is the second Chie voice. So she's not the original.
Oh, you want to know that story?
How does that play out being...
Okay, so Persona 3, the original Persona 3, it was a dark game like 5 is. It was just as dark as 5. And so when they went in to record Persona 4, the original game for PlayStation, they went dark because they assumed 4 was going to be dark like 3. So they hired an on-camera actress to play the role of Chie Satonaka, and she did a great dark kind of like brooding job of it. And when they were coming out with Golden, so they were relocalizing for Golden and adding content. they realized, the producers of the game, the localization team, realized that they went much too dark with the Chie character than they intended. They realized she's a much more lighthearted, kind of teenager-y, a little bit more fun, a little bit more wacky character, and they gave Tracy the opportunity to adjust her character to fit the personality going in that direction. Tracy is not a character actress, she's an on-camera actress, so the character she was playing, you know how TV actors tend to stay in the same kind of pocket sound-wise?
Yeah.
And so going beyond that, or she's not an actor who does character work. She's just, she's a leading female actor. Mm-hmm. So she tried it. It wasn't her wheelhouse. She chose to. And then I got a call from the director, the voice director, who knew me because I had recorded Midori in Devil Survivor. Anyway, that was a crazy other story and a whole other time. There's a whole story behind that.
A whole lot of Atlas games.
Yeah, I'm in a lot of Atlas games. Sorceress, Dragon's Crown. Yeah, I'm in a lot of Atlas games.
Catherine.
So, yeah, Catherine, yeah. Oh, yeah, Catherine I recorded before P4, so I had done Erica already.
Oh, really?
And yeah, so Erica was recorded before P4 Golden. So because of the work I did with Erica, she just called me up, the director, and she said, just show up. We might have something for you. So I showed up to the session, and it wasn't a booking yet. They were like, it wasn't an audition, but she basically turned to the producer and said, I know Chie Satonaka. And the reason she said that is because at the time I was watching nothing but 1970s kung fu movies. I was definitely a very hyperactive person watching kung fu movies and eating whatever I wanted. And I'm a juicy, I'm not a skinny LA girl. I'm a juicy. So I got behind the microphone, and she's like, she literally said this, be the 16-year-old version of you. I'm like, I'm like, you really want that hyper? Because I was really hyper. She's like, yeah, be the 16-year-old version of you. So I just talked like the 16-year-old version of me, and we just started recording right away. We just kept going.
And before we get to the critical response of it, did you talk to like the other
no, I never met her. I don't know her. I've never seen her since. I haven't even bumped into her in the professional realm. I don't know where her career went. I have no idea. I know that I knew fully, because I've had that happen to me where I've been replaced, and there was a huge fan backlash. So I knew there was going to be a huge fan. I didn't think anybody would like my Chie, knowing the direction that the original went, because that's a real harsh tone change from going from dark and serious to me. I annoy people just by being myself around them on the daily, let alone going from something dark and sexy to my normal how I am. Good luck with that. So I expected the backlash. What I didn't expect was for Chie to become a popular character. I did not expect that people would love my interpretation of Chie. I did not expect for Reddit to have a Church of Chie on it. I did not expect for the fandom to be so welcoming and warm to Chie at all. I basically braced myself for working a character and thinking I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I loved the job. I loved the people I worked with. I had a great time recording her, and I thought that's all I can do. All I can do is my best, and if people don't like it, I can't have no control over that.
That's true, but and then like on top of that, like you really owned that part to like now, like even me being someone who. Like, I literally played the game back to back because Persona 4 was the thing that got me.
How was that for you, the transition?
The voice transition?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Be honest.
No, I'm really trying to think because it's been so, like, this is literally like almost 10 years ago. So I'm trying.
We're so old now, Shawny.
Yes, we are so old. Like, literally, like, I was thinking about, like, before we even did this, like, podcast and stuff, I was thinking about, because, let me just tell a story then. So, Persona 4 is so big to me because Persona 4 is the one game that got me back into video gaming when I stopped because I had a girlfriend, and this is back when I was 20 years old, 10 years ago, a girlfriend that's like, hey, stop playing video games, that's childish, and blah, blah, blah.
Who is this girl?
It's not important. She is irrelevant. But anyway. Now look at me, 10 years later, 30 years old, and, playing video games.
Hey,
so,
and gaming is the norm, but now everybody's into it because they're on house arrest. Yes. You're welcome, girl. We were ahead of the curve. We were all ahead of the curve.
Yes, we were. Me, probably a year after we broke up or whatever, I'm like, I kind of want to play some video games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I started looking at video games. I wanted to play, I can't remember what type of game. I think I wanted to play any RPG game. I was like, I wanted something new.
Right.
And I ran into Persona 4. So then I played Persona 4, loved it. Even then, the PlayStation 2 version, I literally, this is at a time, I didn't play it when it was brand new. This was at a time, right before Golden came out. I think, probably early 2012 or something like that, or whenever it was. And I literally, I still had my PlayStation 2, literally went to GameStop. There's one more copy of Persona 4 left, and went, bought it, played it, loved it, loved every part about it.
Wow.
And literally while I was playing, I think I finished the game, and literally the same day I finished the game was the day that they dropped that YouTube video of the character introduction for Golden. And I think it was literally the same day that yours dropped on YouTube. The same exact day. I beat Persona 4 and that same day yours dropped. I clicked on it. Before I even listened to it, I just saw that dislike bar, and I'm like, why is there so many dislikes on this video? I don't understand. And I clicked on it and I listened to it. And when I listened to it, I said, this voice is different, but I like the acting better than the original Chie. I said that to myself before even really getting used to your voice.
You're just saying that because
No. I'm dead serious. I literally said that. I was because I remember I was on Facebook groups and stuff like that.
Well, you know what? Then what you're saying is validating what the producer felt. Yeah. Was that it fit the character better, that he felt he was going for what fit, and not many producers would do that. Be like, okay, you know what? I made a mistake in the casting, and that's on the producers, right? The casting is on the producers. It's not on the directors. It's not on the actors. If somebody's miscast, it's not the actor's fault they're miscast.
And,
it's the producer.
And everybody always tries to attack the actor or actress that does it. And it's they're just there. They're just there doing their job. It's
Who's not going to take that check, though? Yeah. Who's not going to take that check?
Yeah, I mean, it's
I'm taking your job.
Yeah, it's like when you're at work and you're behind the register and the prices for the chips is up to $3 now, and somebody comes and yell at you, why is these chips $3 now? And then you're like, I'm sitting here taking the money and registering people.
Exactly.
I didn't make the chips $3. Stop yelling at me.
Not my fault. I don't know why we don't have any toilet paper. It is not my fault.
But yeah, so that's true.
Get a bit real there.
So yeah, I was literally arguing with people online, on Facebook. Probably even on that video, if you scroll down it somewhere, probably see my name on it. I was the acting, whoever this is, this before I even knew who Erin Fitzgerald was. I was like, God damn it! Look, they never know who this is. They're gonna see the video name with.
They haven't Googled it by now. They don't care.
They're gonna
it's this woman.
Persona 4 Chie. Who did this voice? Who is this person? Laura Bailey? I don't know who this is. I don't know. But it's but I was literally arguing with people, saying this voice might be the better voice. I think I need to give it a chance. And it was nah, it sounds bad. It's too high. And Chie's not supposed to be that energetic, blah, blah, blah. I'm is she not?
She does kung fu.
Yeah, because she kind of is supposed to be energetic, if you really think about it. And that's why now, anytime I hear Chie and I hear your voice, it's that's perfect. When I go on YouTube and then I see, I click on clips or whatever on YouTube for Persona 4, and it's like the PlayStation 2 version, and I'm like, oh yeah, I almost forgot. It's a different voice. I'm like,
So,
it's a totally different.
and now it's hard to take in that voice more than
but here's the thing. I think people are attracted to what they're attracted to, and I don't feel bad about anybody disliking my performance and preferring Tracy's. I feel like obviously it's just an art choice. You know, like you look at a painting, not everybody likes the same painting. It's just art. That's what art is meant to be. It's not meant to please everybody. I mean, out of the Persona 4 cast, not everybody likes every character. I do, but that's just me. I'm very partial.
Yeah, Teddy.
Oh, the Teddy fans are leaving comments right now.
Oh no!
I cannot.
I see you doing that. Don't stop it! Stop it!
Like I was so like when I play P4 dancing, I'm just like, I hate
P4.
that I got to do these Teddy songs. And
I'm sorry, but Kanji is my favorite in the P4 dancing game. I can't get any Kanji.
I love his freaking company.
He cracks me up at that game.
He's one of the best dancers. Whoever did his mocap or whoever, like however they did that,
I agree.
like he's one of the best. But
hilarious.
But I think now, like you said, like it's art, and I think like art, like a lot of, well, not like art, it is art. Like a lot of other like parts of art, sometimes when you first take in certain art that's different for you, you don't like it. But then the more you sit with it,
vibration.
because you
it's like when you listen to an album for the first time.
You listen to
I'm gonna say album. I know y'all don't. An album is an entire array of songs played one after the other to tell a story.
An album is this thing that people used to come out with.
It's like a book
before. Before we had playlists of random different artists and stuff, and Spotify and all that stuff.
They're meant to be played in an order.
It came on either a record, CD, or a cassette tape. I know you definitely don't know what a cassette tape is.
Thank you. Thank you. But like it's like listening to an album for the first time. When you listen to it the first time, if it's like I remember listening to the Tribe Called Quest album when it first came out and thinking, I can't, it's so hard. And then 3 weeks later going like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever heard in my entire life. But it was like, it felt like metal rock music to me the first time I heard it, just because it was such a harsh vibration compared to what I was used to. And then when I adjusted to the vibration of what they were putting out, it was like butter, smooth like butter. And now I know all the lyrics to every song.
That reminds me of, do you know Childish Gambino, Donald Glover?
Yes.
Yeah. So like his album Because of the Internet. Yeah, well, and that too. Well, that one I'm kind of like already just like I love it. But like I remember when Because of the Internet first came out, like a whole different like 180 from the last album that he had, like from sounding like a Kanye album to like all these weird sounds and noises and stuff. And I was like, I don't think I like this. Like this is not as good. And then the more and more you listen to it, like I learned like, oh, I think this is probably the most creative thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh my God, I love that so much.
And like that, like, and I feel like that's the same with your voice. It's like at first you're kind of like, oh, this is not what I'm used to, and then you hear it more and more and more, and you're like, you know what? Like this is Chie. Like there's no other voice that's Chie. Awesome. Like anybody else who does Chie, it's gonna sound weird. Like it needs to sound.
And you know, I find that the Chie fans. People who are fans of Chie and the work I did as Chie, they're the most hardcore, passionate. Like I feel like they match Chie's personality. I find that people who love Chie are Chies. You know, like they're passionate. They put their hearts out there. They want to help their friends. Like they just are. Like I love meeting people. I have randomly bombarded people in Chie cosplay. They don't know who I am. They don't know I'm just some weird, strange chick. Like, why is this crazy old lady coming up?
Oh my God, I love it so much. They're like, well, who's this lady?
I'm cool crazy like that.
She doesn't know who I am. You don't know what I'm dressing as.
You're into Chie that brings something in people for sure. There's a spirit to her, and I think that's why I love her so much, and I love being her. And when I get to be her, every time I record as Chie, the director's like, "Oh my God, I missed you!" Like, and it's not. I know it's not me. I know it's Chie. Like, there's something about Chie that has. I don't know. She's definitely a spirit animal for me, and I don't know what it is about her. She's so freaking awesome.
But I wouldn't say it's just not you. I mean, I feel like you have a big part to play with that too, because if it was,
I appreciate that.
If it was Tracy, I don't think it would be as strong.
Right.
I think the energy and character that you gave her, like you gave her even more character. Like she's already written as a character, and what you brought to her actually expanded onto that character. Like your Chie is completely different from Tracy's Chie. Like it's a whole different character. Y'all might be saying a lot of the same lines and stuff, but it's a whole different person.
Right.
And I think the one that you brought to the plate and brought to everybody, I feel like that's the energy that everybody likes. So you're a big part of that too.
Well, I'm also gonna. One of my favorite stories to tell too. On the first day of recording, we're recording all of her fighting. You know, her all that kind of stuff. Like I literally was watching a lot of Bruce Lee movies at the time, and my boyfriend at the time he literally has a website called Kung Fu Movie Madness. Like that's how deep into Kung Fu movies I was at that time. I was the girlfriend of somebody. It's just. I knew all the 1970s and 80s Kung Fu stars and everything. So we were trying to figure out ways to say Trial of the Dragon. And, there was a lot of call outs that were very close to Bruce Lee movie titles. And I knew that we couldn't get away with it. So, so the producer was in the room. So I call my boyfriend and I was like, okay, you know what Shannon Lee will and will not allow because you've done all the things. So my boyfriend's on the phone with us, rewording certain call outs so they would be close enough that Bruce Lee fans would know it was a tip of the hat to Bruce Lee, but Shannon Lee wouldn't be pissed off and call out Atlas for plagiarism. Like we worked that hard on Chie's call outs and fighting stuff. Like we wanted to make as true to Kung Fu as the most hardcore Kung Fu fan out there for Kung Fu movies.
Well, I'm glad that Don't Think Feel is still a thing.
Me too!
Because that's one of my favorite lines.
You have no idea how much I'm fangirling, getting to say these things that were tributes to Bruce Lee and all of these. Like, I was like, this is so effing cool. This is so freaking cool.
And then, I don't know if it was an original, but I know in Golden, they have the yellow jumpsuit.
Yes! And her persona has that. Yeah, like the total Game of Death jumpsuit.
You know what? Her persona does have that, and I I never realized that until you just said it.
Yes, her persona does. Yes, I have that jumpsuit at home, for real. I have it.
That doesn't surprise me.
I don't wear it out, but I have it. I have it. When I cosplay at home, I have it.
Are you cosplaying as Chie in the Bruce Lee jumpsuit?
Mostly like Kill Bill, actually.
Okay, that's or are you cosplaying as Kill Bill?
It feels more appropriate to be Kill Bill, but I do love Bruce Lee Game of Death. That was a dope movie.
All right. Well, thanks for that brief information. Let's get back to the main topic so we can put everybody on the spot. What is your three top favorite video games? Go. 5 seconds. Don't think about it.
Say it. Bitch, you didn't say anything.
Wait, are we talking to Nate?
Nate did his 3, right?
I like 3.
Mine are easy. Final Fantasy VII, Overwatch, and what is the third one? Princess.
Not that easy.
That third one's the hard one.
It's faster. Okay, but it's tied between Fat Princess Adventure and Dragon's Crown because I'm going to the games that I play over and over and over and over and over again and never get tired of. So it's really 4. So it's Overwatch for sure, Final Fantasy VII, the original one, Dragon's Crown, and I don't play as my character in Dragon's Crown. I play as Patrick Seitz' character, the knight in Dragon's Crown, and then Fat Princess Adventures because it might be the funniest video game.
I've never played Fat Princess.
And it's very uplifting. It's very funny. I know it's cheap on whatever console you can get it on. It has all sorts of weird little glitches on it, but the dialogue is the funniest ever. And if you set your characters, you've got a lot of choices for personalities for your playable character. But if you select female Zen Master, it's me. That is me. Female Zen Master. But the cast is insane. It's the cast of that game.
Write that down.
The Fat Princess Adventures. The cast is Nika Furterman, Tara Strong, Kari Walgren, Steve Bloom, the guy who plays Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm blanking on his name. Ray Chase was not Ray Chase. Nolan North. Oh my god! Like the cast is Fred Tatasciore. It's Debbie Derryberry. It's a huge A-list, ridiculous cast. The lines are the funny. Okay, so the 2 recordings that I've ever done for video games that had me laughing in tears were Fat Prince, because I couldn't believe the stuff that we got to say, and Dragon's Crown had all of the Yuri Lowenthal and I got to record right next to each other doing Dragon's Crown. He recorded the wizard and I'm the sorceress, and as we were standing next to each other, we're recording this dialogue and we're going, wait a minute, isn't that a Monty Python reference? Wait a minute, isn't that a 1980s Fantasia reference? Every 1980s fantasy movie, from Red Sonja, Conan the Barbarian, all the Monty Pythons, like there are so many great references in that game that I was like, this is genius. I'm going to have to buy it. And I did. I bought both of those games just based on how much I was laughing about the dialogue in recording sessions. And they're my faves to play.
Would you say that's one of your favorites ever?
Definitely.
That was 4 there.
Yeah,
Cheated.
I said 4. Hey, can you say 4? Because I did 4, just like that.
But she can do 4. It took her 2 seconds.
I know. Calm down.
It took you 20 minutes to do 3.
You went on a fucking rant. Let's see your 3.
Mine 3 is easy. I can do it in 2 seconds.
Awakening. I do think that might be a favorite, because that was used to be my favorite back in the 80s. So I've been watching it on Twitch, people playing Link's Awakening, and it looks so gorgeous.
It's a fun.
I feel like I'm
going
to lose myself in that for a long time if I end up pulling the trigger on that switch.
Are you gonna get Link's Awakening before Breath of the Wild? Does Breath of the Wild interest you at all?
No, I won't go. I am so OG. I don't understand how I'm playing OG. Like, I genuinely don't, considering how I am so stuck in my ways of gaming. I remember, because I can't do FPS at all, and it's definitely not first-person perspective because it makes me nauseous, but I remember sitting by my console, and it was before I ended up in a huge breakup, and it was really, really sad, and I went through a very dark depression for a long time. But I got this nudge. This nudge was to download the game. And I know for me in my life that when I ignore nudges, I generally regret it. So when I get a nudge, I'm like, I'm going to download this game. Because I loved how bright it looked. It looked bright and cartoony, which for me is a win. That's the number one thing I need in my video games is bright and cartoony. It seemed uplifting. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get it. And then Danielle literally handheld me through the first 6 months of my nausea. And I played Zenyatta only because he was so smooth. He didn't jerk around. And so I wasn't as nauseous playing Zenyatta. And he says encouraging words like, you make a mistake, you have to try again, that kind of stuff. So he helped me, literally, Zenyatta helped me get through the first 6 months of Overwatch. And I've been playing it for years. And I literally play a lot of the characters now. I never imagined myself playing that. So anything possible.
Yeah, I'm not a big Overwatch fan because I'm not a big first-person shooter fan.
My friends are.
I
hate first-person shooters.
Yeah, but when I see Overwatch though, and actually watch it and stuff, I'm kind of like, okay, I can understand this. I'm not gonna spend $60, $30, whatever it costs now on it, but I can see myself playing this.
If you are not an FPS person, but you want to give Overwatch a shot, start off as Zenyatta because he's slow, he's steady, and he's the easiest to get used to. But
I like picking anime waifus as.
All my waifus! All my waifus! Nobody's not a. You're a waifu.
All right, and since Nate was yelling at me.
Sorry, Nick.
Mine 3, very easy, very fast, because it's going to take 2 seconds for me, because I can actually do this in 2 seconds, unlike people. Persona 4, Golding, Final Fantasy 7, the original, for now. For now, the original, until remake comes, then we'll see. And Resident Evil 2. The original.
Oh, classic!
Yep.
Those are classics. Oh, I like
And
it.
I can do a fourth, Metal Gear Solid 1.
Oh, I can't play the game. It's terrible.
You never played Metal Gear Solid?
No, Judy's. No. I'm gonna die.
Play.
Everyone's gonna
If
die.
you ever do, I would highly recommend you play the GameCube version.
Oh my god!
It's it's really easy. It's really handholdy.
Okay. Oh, that's nice to know.
So. You okay?
I'm fine. I don't have the Rona.
So you can't
At least not yet. Anyway.
can't cough in these times of days.
Yeah, I can't promise them what will happen by the time this episode ends.
So I blacked out. What's
Not
happening?
leaving my house. What was that, Nate?
I blacked out. What's happening?
He has the virus.
I don't have the Rona.
He has the virus.
So far, no Rona. No Rona.
No Rona. Wow, we're already 1 hour in. This doesn't feel like it felt like we've been talking for like 10 minutes.
Oh, I know.
This was like I'll literally tell you like I was freaking nervous like this
I
whole
think it went
time.
pretty smooth.
I was freaking nervous before we did anything because I'm just like, oh my god, like what if I just like don't know what to say? What if I just like make a fool of myself? She's like, who are these strange people?
Hey, we're human, remember?
Yes, but we're weirdos. So
am I. Welcome to the world.
well, yes,
now we know.
I see.
I see.
Kindred spirits. We did it! You did it! We all did it together!
Yes.
Makes the dream work!
Teamwork makes the
Oh,
dream
now
work.
can we say my name? Now we can say my name.
So this was a podcast. I guess I don't even want to call this a podcast. It was like a conversation. We
A conversation.
just got on and we just started talking. Like it didn't start.
Yeah.
We have like intros and stuff set up, and we didn't do our intro.
Fancy.
We didn't. We didn't do anything. We just started rambling. We just started talking about everything, about life, about games,
Yeah.
about like this is a great thing.
Should I plug the socials?
Plug your socials, please. I want everybody to
Okay.
follow everything
So-
that Erin Fitzgerald does.
Follow me on Twitch at Erin Fitzgerald. That's my name. And from my Twitch, you can find my Discord, which is called the House of Misfits, because that's where we hang out in between gaming. And on Twitter, I'm Erin Fitzgerald, because that's also my name. And on Instagram, okay, I'm a little different on Instagram. It's Erin Fitz Badass.
Oh my god, I can't.
Nice.
That's it. Those are my socials.
Oh my god. And Nate, go ahead and plug your socials.
God damn it. I'm on.
Just say your freaking socials. You use them every day.
Hold on. Yeah, my socials, Twitch, NatePlays, Twitter, it's NatePlays, 2 S's at the end, because, some bastard took my name. Discord as Nate's Hangout. It's pretty dead in there, actually. That's basically it, really.
And my socials, I don't know them, because they're always different. Twitch is DarkNerdShawny. Twitter is Shawny Boy Music, Instagram is Shawny Boy Music, and DarkNerdShawny because I have 2. Spotify, Shawny Boy, without the space, all one name. I think that's it. All right, any closing thoughts before we end this up?
Don't feel
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate that one a whole lot.
You're welcome.
That's you. Well, don't think Phil is my follow sound. I think,
Oh,
and then
I
I think
love-
don't think dance from dancing is my
So,
is
Awesome.
how much would it-
subscriber. Like if somebody
So how much
subscribes,
would it-
if somebody what is it? God damn it! If somebody follows me, it's don't think Phil. If somebody is it donates or I think it's either donate or subscribe. It's don't think dance.
Woohoo!
Yep.
I
See,
love that.
big Erin Fitzgerald fan. Probably not the biggest. I'm sure there's probably people that stalk you.
No, I have nice humans. I genuinely have nice humans. So far, it's been nothing but nice humans.
That's good.
I think the NBA weeds out the real twerps.
That's probably true. Yes. we are the best fans.
Word.
All right, but this has been the Big Weeb Podcast. I appreciate you, Erin, for stopping by. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate Nate for getting this together. And
Oh, hang on. Let me just say this. This has been the Great Weeb Podcast.
Big Weeb.
You better be listening.
Big Weeb.
Because you gotta eat more meat.
You don't even have to ask her.
You got to do it again, though, because you said the name wrong. It's Big Weeb.
Big Weeb?
Yes.
Okay. You have been listening to the Big Weeb Podcast. And you know you gotta do it more often. And you gotta eat more meat.
I love it. Thank you so much, Erin. I appreciate you.
Thank you guys. I had a really good time. I really had a lot of fun. Your stream, more of your music.
Thank you. I'm really excited that you're a big fan of mine. That's new to me. So,
But I hope to get you again whenever you're free next.
Whenever you're free
Awesome.
next. Whenever the next, world epidemic, pandemic happens where we're trapped in our houses.
Not to do that every time. Let's just do it for fun instead of during. Yeah, because we may need it throughout pandemics. See?
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully this is aged poorly and there is no pandemic. And we were just talking crazy last month.
Yes, everybody's like, why are they so stressed about?
That's right.
Just walk
We didn't
outside.
need to be.
Just go outside.
Yeah, aren't you? We're all so relieved now. And if we're not, I love you and I give you a big hug.
Oh, you're so great.
All right, guys. Yay.
All right. You have a nice day.
Too.
Enjoy the rest of your vacation.
Staycation. Yep.
Vacation. And we will talk to you in the future.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.